All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Reader. So this is a recent runner to say the least, all right? It's been a very, very long time since I've talked about CEI, and I mean, you can see it. All we've really done is just lose lines, lose lines, lose lines, lose lines, lose lines all the time, staying under the 8 and the 20, right? So not really a lot of good happening here, but geez, I mean, a 40, almost 50% day, geez, I mean, that's a recent runner to say the least, but what do we care about? Look, I say this often, no set of indicators is gonna really let you know that like this is the big day. Maybe you can argue that this one was a little bit more foreseeable, but nonetheless, what really matters is this thing gonna sustain and run, or is this thing gonna, pump and dump, right? So that's really what we're gonna talk about. I'm going to cover MULN today, and I actually was not planning on covering MULN, but MULN is running after hours right now, and I've said it on so many videos across so many tickers, and I think it's a good thing to talk about. I do not like after hours runners. I don't. I think it's a really easy way to get your hand stuck in the cookie jar, and that's what I'm going to talk about, all right? So we'll talk about MULN for sure, and it's going to be a little bit different, but obviously the same things we normally do. And then lastly is FFIE. So I'll be honest, normally I cover FFIE when I do IDEX, and I've left FFIE off for like the last maybe even 2 weeks. But it seems like it's trying to turn around, and I think it's well worth talking about today. So I think this is going to be a really good group of 3, but before we go any further, what are we going to do? Same thing we always do, right? So we'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We do have our 5 moving averages. There are horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we're done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please subscribe to the channel, share this thing on the internet, comment good or bad. Look, if you disagree with me, I'm not here to hate on you, you know what I mean? But anything you can do really, really does help. Just being here and giving me your time, though, super, super appreciated, all right? So look, let's get into it. And really, one of the things I want to do is I actually want to delete all my lines. It's been a long time since I've covered this thing. There's 17 of them, too. So I think let's get rid of the lines and let's look at this thing fresh, okay? Look, just a whole mess of pain, a whole mess of trading under the 8 and the 20, under the 8 and the 20, under the 8 and the 20, right? So the fact that we were able to run today is just, I mean, number one, it's well needed. Look how low this RSI is, right? Like, what are you at? 7, 13, like 13, 14, like this thing's living in these like single digit, double digit, low double, like a normal number is 30, right? So the fact that we were down here for so long, look, it makes sense, okay? And red turns into green, 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 green. I say that on all my videos, and you can just literally see why I say that on a single candle right here, right? So we've basically run to this horizontal right here. This line matters more, so I'm not going to keep it, but we've run to that horizontal. And really, this is kind of the next horizontal up, right? It's basically kind of the peak of this, the bottom of this, and like a little bit of this, right? So I will keep this line, and for real, breaking this, man, like that's where we start actually kind of thinking about $3, because again, red, right? Just break this line and let's go. Maybe I would draw one more. I think around here, it's the top of that thing. No, I'm going to do this. I'm going to raise it just a little bit. I'm going to take the top of it. It's 50% of that. Looks like it's the top of that as well. I think that's a good line right there. Look, immediately speaking, we're going to talk about this 50 moving average line, this red one right here, all right? Let's just look at the red line, all right? We've been well under it, well under it, well under it, well under it, kind of close to it, well under it. This 50 line is no joke. Basically, since right here, since May 22, for about a year and a half, this has been a really, really hard line to break, okay? So, don't underestimate this line at all. It will not be easy to break, even though this is a good, strong candle. What is it doing after hours? It's going down hard. Look, again, I don't put too much emphasis on after hours, but again, I did say this was not going to do well before I saw what after hours was going to look like. And look, this is what pump and dump volume looks like. We were sitting at 1.4 million shares yesterday. You can see that the box in the bottom of there at volume, VOL. Day before, 1.5 million. Day before that, 1.9, all right? We are more than 10x that at 22 million shares today. I don't think I really saw any news that justified it. I think this was nothing more than a hard RSI reset, runs up a couple lines and is gonna come back down. Like, I am very much expecting this to come down to 78 cents well before I expect this to come back to 120, 130, all right? If I was going to set an alert, I would set an alert at 99 cents. I'm actually not going to set an alert here. I think there are better things out there in the market, and this just seems like a little bit of a trap in my opinion. So, you know, really, again, I think these are really important lines. If we can get over these, arguably, if you can get over 121, 122, right? That's what the 20 moving average is right there. You can see it over there, 121. That's an argument that I'm not here to make, say is bad, but I would wait for this, I think, just based on what we saw on the daily over here. But yeah, look, it's close, all right? It is close, but I'm not believing it, and I actually think we're coming back down. We've done this before. We go down hard, we run up to the 50, we actually try the 50 again, and then we lose it, right? We run down hard, we don't even get to the 50 on this one, right? But I am not a believer. I think this is a pump and dump. Let me know if you disagree. I'm not here to argue with you or hate on you, right? Like, I love a good conversation, but I don't believe in CEI, okay? Mullen. So look, if you watch my videos, you know I care about regular hours. All my videos are regular hours. All my analysis are regular hours. If you just saw the last video, I quickly looked at post-market and then immediately came back, okay? Mullen is not doing good. Mullen still can't break this 20 moving average. Mullen has not gotten into my 26-cent money line yet, right? Like, Mullen is doing what Mullen really seemingly should be doing. That was a hard word to say, seemingly, sorry. But like, this minus 22% day does not surprise me. And look, it literally gets caught on my line, right? Again, I'm not here to brag or anything, but I do think I make some pretty good manual lines, okay? That said, the reason I'm actually covering this right now is what's happening in the post-market, all right? Post-market, this thing is now up 10%, okay? Because again, remember, we were down 22. We are now only down 14, 15, right? It was around 12. Look, there's that 12 number right there. Like, this thing's moving pretty hard after hours, okay? If we look at the 1 minute chart real quick, you can see it. This thing ran pretty hard after hours. I do not like after hours movements. I think it's a really easy way to mess up. And look, that's how days like this happens, okay? I'm gonna go back to regular, okay? Let's go back to regular. So this day right here closes at 17, all right? That's this line right here. It's the number in green on the top of that box, okay? Things happen after hours and pre-market so that it opens all the way up here. You can see it over there, open 28 cents. However, it ends up going all the way down and closing down here at 22. Yes, this is a good single day. Yes, this is a 29% day. You can see that the percent jumps to 29 at the top. Like, this looks like a good day to most, but what really probably happened is a lot of people bought all the way up, didn't know to sell, and lost it. I don't know if they sold or not, and are probably lower than they got it, whenever they did, right? So to me, I believe we're at 14 cents. I actually don't necessarily believe we're at 16. Obviously, we are for sure at 16 cents, and I understand like that, and I'm not like oblivious to it. Yes, we physically are at 16 at the very moments I'm saying the words right now. To me, what matters is this regular hour close down here. This is more of the truth than any 10% we're running right now after hours. That is sincerely my opinion. And that more than anything is what I believe. And what is this telling me? Honestly, It's just telling me we're going back down to 10 cents. What just happened is the RSI is no longer happy. The RSI, actually, the red is over green. We don't like that. We want green over red on both, all right? Also, this was going pretty hard uptrend. This is now kind of starting to flatten out in my book. So I don't think that this thing is going up, up, up anymore. We unfortunately never made it to the positive. And what I thought was kind of the beginning of better volume, this is now two uptrending days of sell-offs, both of them breaking the 50 moving average still. And really going from this day, we're actually, I don't know. I actually see 10 cents more realistic than running to my 26-cent money line. Again, if we can get into this, red will turn into green. Like, I don't know if you skipped CEI or not, okay? Red turns into green, literally on a single day here, all right? I don't know if that's what'll happen when we get here, but believe me, if we get into here and all I'm seeing is red, nothing, yeah, I'm ready, right? But this right here is telling me we can't break this 20 moving average. This is telling me I know how to open above it, but I'll close below it. This is telling me, I've actually done that before. I'll open up here, I'll open at 273, but I'll close down here under the line at 257. I'll open up here at 293, but I'll close all the way down here. This is MULN 101. Don't let this after hours fool you, because I'm telling you, it will actually, I think, burn you. So be careful. Just my opinions. I talked about the buyback on the last video too. Like, I know the stock buyback was mentioned. I know $25 million sounds like a lot. I know I do not have $25 million. All right, that's a big number for me. For the dude that's talking into the camera and talking into the little microphone here, like, that's a big number. That's not actually that big a number for a big conglomerate electronic vehicle company. 25 million, like, come on. If you actually think it's this low, put your money where your mouth is. Make me believe you're not going to reverse split again. All right, like, that's kind of what the moral was on the last one, and I'm going to say it again. Don't let after hours fool you. I think it's going to get your hand stuck in the cookie jar. So I've avoided FFIE for a few weeks. I know I haven't talked about this thing in a long time. And look, all we've done is traded under the 8 and the 20. Bad things happen under the 8 and the 20. Right now, we've made a nice little couple days. I saw yesterday. Yesterday was a good day. It was a good 12%, man. And on a single day, that's beautiful. Don't get me wrong. This 25-cent line is going to be really hard to break because you got the 50 and the 20 pretty much exactly right there. From there, what is this 20? Yeah, I think this 26 is still an important number. I think this 25 is going to matter more. I'm going to actually go ahead and delete that. This is the money line. Like, you actually, again, I guess I should have kept it because it is still 26. But if you can break this, I think there's a good reason to believe you'll come here, right? Break these two. Like, we're trying to break moving averages and work our way up, right? And look, we've actually done it. We've broken a cluster before, and we're able to go the 200 and, go to the 100 and test the 2, right? So it's actually plausible that we break 25 and run to 30. And again, that's a 20% swing right there, right? But man, that 100 seems to be a difficult line. Right? It for sure is not an easy one. And again, I'm glad we've done it here, and I do see that. I'm not one to underestimate how hard it's going to be to break those two lines. So if this can close at 26, I think there's a good shot that it goes to the low 30s. MACD's not positive, but it's close. That's a good RSI, and that's, I guess, decent volume. But end of the day, I think the one thing that's catching my eye is really this 25. Get over 25, and I'm a believer. But man, don't lose 15. 15 cents is obviously an all-time low number, and we do not want to lose all-time lows and fall. But hey, again, let me also just say this. We have 5 moving averages starting to get a little bit tight. You know I don't like that too much. So a couple things going on here, and I think end of the day, there are better places for your money in the market than FFIE. I'm glad to talk about it. I'm glad it's at least trying to curve, and it's at least like not coming down to this 15 cents and dying. But yeah, I think there's better places for your money in the market than this thing. So hey, let me know your thoughts and opinions. Otherwise, you know it. Thank you.